Hi, I'm Helena. So today we're gonna go into like this mini series that I'm gonna do about the specific production of the current ring in Bayreuth. I want to be quite clear. Please watch the other video first. This will not help you. This will confuse you even more because I'm not gonna go into the persons and stuff again. I'm just gonna go into the production. So please, 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 if you watch this now, go see the other video about the Rhinegold, listen to this stuff, and if you're not confused enough, then you can come back to this. I'm not like mad about it, but please, like if you say this is too much for you, this is okay. But please don't go into this video unprepared. Just saying. So we're gonna go into the current production, I think, which originated in 2020. It should be 2022 because I've been in the complete ring. The first time it came around was in the premiere, so to say. Then the second year I was just in the Valkyrie, and the third year, which was last year, I was again in the whole ring. And this year, which is the last year, unfortunately, for this production, I'm gonna just go in Rhinegold and Valkyrie. Because it's expensive and I don't have the money to go into the whole thing again. Anyway, we're gonna go into the Rhinegold now. Again, as I said, please watch the other video first. This is gonna be very confusing if you haven't. Of course, you can just watch this and say, like, I'm just gonna get myself to the Netflix production, because that's what this is. The regisseur, I don't know, this is not the right word, whose name is, if I remember it correctly, is Sebastian Schwarz. He basically made this into a family drama, a Netflix family drama. So there are many people who don't die actually, but then I think more deaths on stage. But never mind. So reimagine this. If you had the Ring of the Nibelung, which is so magical, which is so cursed, which there's so many things that you can't just explain by doing this one-to-one into a mortal setting, then how would you do it? And I asked myself this, and I thought this could not be better made than in this production. So first of all, we do not have this. We don't have a ring in this case. The ring is, in this case, a metaphor for kind of the legacy. Because what's the most important thing if you're mortal? You're gonna die. So what are you gonna do about your legacy? You need children for that. You need a child to carry on your legacy, to get your money, to get everything going, okay? So in this case, the ring is a child. And since the child will be an adult at one time, the ring changes. So the ring that you see now in the Rhinegold will not be the same child that you see in Götterdämmerung, in the last part of it. Okay? So when we've all said this, ring is a child, legacy, this is what's going on. First scene. The first scene, we're at this estate, really big, great estate, and we're now at a pool where many children play. They're, if I remember it correctly, they're all girls. I think they're about eight or nine girls. And a few boys might be, but I think predominantly girls. And they're all running around and they're having the time of their lives, but there's just one child that stands out, and he's got this yellow t-shirt on, and this will come back. The yellow t-shirt will come back, okay? So there's this kid in the yellow t-shirt, but he's different. He's got his little cap on, he's well, he's super intelligent, basically. He's a clever child, but he's got these dark tendencies, let's say like this. And the kids have the 3 women who take care of them. These are obviously the Rhine maidens. So they take care of them and they've got the time of their lives. But even before the whole ordeal has started, the audience has already seen like this video clip of twins. So they're 2 boys, and the boys, they're fighting in the womb. So one of the boys kicks the other one between the legs, and this child hits the other one into the eye, which renders one of the twins unable to have children, which is like the whole point of this production, and the other one having the scar on their eye, maybe not seeing properly with this one. These children are Alberich and Wotan, and basically Alberich, he's coming to the estate of his brother, because the whole estate, the whole children, they're his brothers. By the way, it's never explicitly said if the children actually are Wotan's, but I would suppose so, because why would he ever have children there who are not his? He's not this kind of a guy. So Alberich basically comes there and they make fun of him. They make fun of him, he cannot have children, so they say, why would we even want you, bro? This is kind of weird, why would this even be a thing? And he gets so riled up, and they say, okay, by the way, this is your brother's legacy, this is the child. He's the cleverest, he's the best, and Alberich wants that. So Alberich takes revenge and takes the child away in a very disturbing manner, and I hope the children are getting out of this well. Hope so. Basically takes the child and drags it away. And the 3 Rhine maidens, or the 3 helpers, they're of course absolutely mortified, because one of the children was literally stolen from their care from the estate. Just saying. So, next part. Second scene. Second scene, we're in this huge, and I mean by huge, I mean huge house. This literally takes up most of the stage. It's so cool, and I hope this was once on YouTube. I don't know if this production is still on YouTube. It's so cool. So they have this interlude while they're normally going from the mortal world to the gods world, but in this case they're like, the pool goes down into the stage, and then there's this massive living room coming front, and there's a garage going on where there's a Porsche inside. Just say there's a Porsche. And it's kind of this 2-story building. There's the garage and there's the living room, and above the living room there's just this like walk over it. And on the other hand there's this bedroom where you can go upstairs via a few stairs which are in front of the garage. So basically Wotan is again sleeping, because he does that, he's sleeping. They apparently had this great party the night before, because there's a lot of like glasses going on, there's a lot of champagne going on, and Fricka goes on and wakes him up, and she says like, bro, or husbandy, I don't know, husband, you have to wake up. The architects are gonna come in any minute and they're gonna want payment. The house is ready. You moved in. The house is ready. They're gonna want payment. What are we gonna do? And Wotan's like this. He's, I don't want to say Trump-esque, but he kind of behaves like it. Let's be real. Also, there's a big part of this which is about hair color. So Wotan and all his, at least daughters, they all have this white blonde hair. And later in Götterdämmerung, when we meet the new rich people, they have black hair, but they dyed it white blonde. So they're not really white blonde, but they just dyed it to be like that. And Wotan is so rich that he's godlike. He's a god in his own special way, as many millionaires and billionaires are. They can do basically anything and everything. Fricka, by the way, I always had the feeling that she was old money and Wotan was kind of new money guy, because she's got very much style and she's got very much class and she's just cool. She's my favorite in this production because she's also played by Christa Meyer, who's like the coolest woman mezzo-soprano who's currently on stage, let's be honest. And the current Wotan is played by Tomasz Konieczny, who is also so good. Man, he's good. Saw him as the Flying Dutchman in Munich. Saw him now a few times as Wotan in Bayreuth. And he looked at me last year, which was so sweet. But we're gonna go into this next week because he looked at me in Valkyrie. He probably just looked at some face in the audience, so still, leave me with my confusion, or like with my dream that he looked at me. Anyway, look very different, of course, when I go to Bayreuth, not like this. But anyway, so there's this really strong couple also on stage. They've got a lot of chemistry going on. And they're really good partners, which makes this even better. So obviously, as I said, Fricka has been Hera-fied, so she's not good with like all these stuff that her husband makes. And she cannot have children, which of course is, other than the mythology, different from it. But Fricka and Wotan, they don't have children, so Wotan has to have children with other women, but she's not fine with that. And at one point, he just says, yeah, I'm gonna go like with our... Now I forgot the word. I'm gonna go with... attorney. Why did I don't know. I read so much about this stuff that I can't remember the simple words. Anyway, he says, wait for my attorney, who's Loge, Loki, to come, and he's gonna help us with this. He's gonna help. He's got a plan. I mean, we've signed these contracts, but really, like no, we're gonna get out of this. And Freia is like coming in and saying, oh, Fricka, please help me, please help me. And Fricka is the spine of the family. This is nowhere clearer than in this production. I think Sebastian Schwarz actually liked Fricka a lot. So she's the spine, and she's in this room upstairs. And when the giants come, which they come almost immediately after Freia came in, immediately one of the giants, I think it's Fasold, blocks Fricka from coming down, because they know if she comes down from there and she gets reunited with the family and she gets a say in what's going on, they're not gonna get their way. So she's completely isolated from the family so that she can't get a word in. Basically, again, Wotan and the giants are like, okay, good, we built this house, we want a payment. And Wotan's like, yeah, okay, say what you want. And the giant's like, you know what we want? We want not Fricka, that would have been good taste. We want Freia. And Wotan's like, what? I thought this was a joke you made. And like, no, we can't give you a woman, please, bro. And they're like, we have a contract, bro. So don't bro me, bro. Of course, immediately, like, the other siblings who are Donner and Froh come in, and Donner kind of strides in as if he just came from the golf course. I think he doesn't have a hammer in this production, but he has a golf club. which is very funny, by the way. And Froh is like this, more of a reclined character. He's more caring, obviously. And Donner's more of this, I'm here, bro, character. I say a lot of bro in this production, I don't know. So they want to help. Wotan says, you can't, we have a contract. And the giants say, okay, good, then we're gonna take her with us. And you remember that there was this garage in the Porsche? The garage in the Porsche. The Porsche in the garage, so the giants came with Porsche. The Porsche can't actually move. It's got no motor. Because we probably couldn't have this, or they needed it for anything else. But they basically take her away with them, and when they go away, the portal to the garage just goes down. So Freia gets again abducted by the giants, and they're all like, wait, she was the best doctor in town, where are we gonna get our shots? Yeah, honestly, these kinds of shots, because obviously golden apples are not going to do in this one. So she's basically this beauty doctor who's like making everyone younger. You know the drill, and everyone more beautiful. They're like, no, we're gonna age now. Oh god. No, we're gonna age now. And the other says, no, this can't happen, and we're gonna go down there. So basically Wotan and his attorney Loge, they're changing and they're going down to where they think the golden child is, because obviously the giants also don't have children, because this is, I don't know, there are not so many women around there. And they said, of course, that the only substitute for a woman would be a child. Not in this way, by the way, but just in a woman can give you a legacy and a child can give you a legacy as well. I don't know, just find a woman, woo her, marry her, and you can have children. It would be so much easier than just robbing children all around, but never mind. So, I hope, by the way, you have like watched the other video before, so you're getting like the detailed version of it in the other production, of the video. So now we're gonna get down to, and I'm not making this up, a kindergarten. No, really, they are. They're going down to this kindergarten, and Mime, who's the other dwarf, he's kind of like the boss of the kindergarten, and he loves the children very, very dearly. And he takes care of a few of the children. And then Alberich comes and he's like, hey, by the way, this is my new child. And Mime's like, okay, good. What are we doing with this? And Alberich's like, oh, he's just gonna roam around here, and this is good. And the evil spirit of Alberich has already transformed kind of into the child, because he's immediately harassing the other kids. And like, this is an unfortunate part of the production, because they've got this kind of glass room on stage. And yes, they're all doing this, they're all preparing this, they're all rebuilding the stage while the curtain's up. There's no intermission in this. So they've got this kind of glass room on stage in which all the children are, and they have their lunches and all. And the little kid with a golden t-shirt, he comes in and basically destroys everything. He like chucks the soup and throws it at the walls and throws it at the glass, and the poor person who has to clean all this up every time. But it's unfortunately very distracting from the scene, because normally your brain is conditioned in a way that you say, we're gonna go to the biggest threat, and the biggest threat is the child throwing around glasses and destroying stuff and all the noise that comes out of this glass room. So this is an unfortunate part, but I know that it's necessary because it is explained later, because we're gonna meet this child, and this child will sing at one point when he's an adult. Just saying, just a little taste for what we're gonna go to in 3 weeks. But anyway, so basically Wotan and Loge come there, and they see what's going on, and they're like, okay, good, this is not the way to treat a child. Maybe we should call CPS. And Wotan's like, no, we need this child to give it to the giants, to the architects. And they basically lure the child away, but they also lure away another child, a girl in this case, as a kind of a backup. Let's say it like this. So they take the children and leave, and they of course also bind Alberich and take him with them back to the estate. So Alberich is, when they get back to the estate, not in a good shape. Not at all, unfortunately. He's really been beaten up and he's bruised all over. And they make him give away the children, basically, which already... This is one of the parts where the text, unfortunately, doesn't make sense so much with the production. At least for me, because obviously I'm not part of the production team, so I can just say what it says to me as an audience member. So this is like the whole ordeal with the ring and this stuff. It's a bit off. But anyway, basically they have the two children, and Alberich curses the child out, basically. We've talked about the curse already, so no one whoever has it shall be lucky. They shall all be made to die, and you know the drill. Yeah. Basically, then Alberich, of course, he leaves, he goes away, and tries to make this as plausible and as understandable as possible for you, because I love this production so much. It's so good. And I mean, yes, of course, there are little knickknacks now and then that are like not so much understandable, but as a greater picture, it makes so much sense. There's so many little parts that come back. We're gonna go to that in a minute. Basically, the architects come back. Freia she's traumatized, and I feel so sorry for her. Her whole mascara is smeared. She gonna be very careful with what I say, but if you see her, you get the idea that she has not been treated well. Let's say it like this. She can't stand people touching her. God, this makes me cry. That there are people who are able to do this to not only women but also men, but predominantly women. She's really traumatized. She's basically haunted in a way. They do not get her back. Say it like this. Whew, this got dark really fast. Anyway, the giants should be fooled with the girl first, so that they don't get the original child, the good child, which is kind of a bit sexist. But since the girl's getting out of this, I'm good. But they get to it that this is not the real child. They try to disguise the girl, like in clothes similar to the guy, with like a jacket and a hood and all. But the giants, they see through it. But Wotan says, no. This is as good as you're gonna get. You're not gonna get the other child, because I'm gonna keep the other child. And then, let's say the housekeeper comes in, Erda, who has been a long friend of Wotan's, and she gives him advice quite a lot, and she says, no, you should really get this boy off. He's not good news. He's really bad. He's a bad guy. And just do it. Give them the boy. And Wotan, of course, believes the advice of his friend and takes the girl away and gives them the boy. Erda, on the other hand, takes the girl because she knows that this is not a good environment for this kid, and takes the girl away, and she leaves the estate. This is gonna come back in handy when we're in Siegfried. So basically everyone is shocked. Everyone is shocked. And we have a recurring theme of pyramids in this. Not particular in the Rhinegold, other than in this kind of, it's a cube, a glass cube with a, well, lighting up pyramid inside, and under that there's usually something hidden. And Freia, let's say she finds a gun. And when everyone else is not watching, because Wotan is like, yes, I've got my house now, and this is all great, and we're all good, and this is cool, and I'm the king of the world, basically. Freia watches him, Fricka watches him, Fricka watches him, and Donner and Froh watch him, and Freia, in the meantime, kind of kills herself. And this is the last thing we see, that the curtain is going down, she's taking up the weapon, Wotan is like on the first floor, like spinning around to this great beautiful music, and he's having the time of his life basically. And yeah, Freia takes the gun and ends her life. And this is very, very different. This is, yeah, end of this part of the production. This is very, very different to the original. Because first of all, normally when you talk about timelines, as I said in the other video, Rhinegold is basically at the beginning of time. Then there comes this huge jump until we're in the Middle Ages. So beginning of the world, Middle Ages, this is a lot of time that's going on between there. In between, until we're at the age of men, and then the Middle Ages. In this case, the Valkyrie is the same day as Rhinegold. Same day. Okay? So when we're gonna go into this next week, like the Valkyrie and what he did with the Valkyrie, we're gonna be immediately after this. So we're having the funeral of Freia, who is unfortunately and very creepily, like her burial is kind of in the house, which is weird. So we're having her funeral next week, immediately. There is, as I said, the production as a whole makes a lot of sense. There are now and then there's stuff where I'm like, why is this happening right now? But all in all, there's so much, and I can't explain everything to you, obviously not. But this is so cool. I love this production so much, not only because it was the first I ever saw, but also because I love this. It makes sense. I don't know, I see so many productions of anything where I feel like they just say, oh, it's art, it's not understandable, we're gonna put it in. But he thought so much about this. He put so much thought in everything. There's so many small details. For example, there's this Rubik's Cube that Wotan lures the boy away with from the kindergarten. And when the child is a bit older, when he's like, I don't know, in his teenage years, 20s, then he's carrying this Rubik's Cube around his neck. At least he did this in last year's production. This is, I don't know, it makes so much sense, and this is so wonderful. There's so many things that come back, and I find stuff every year, and I'm so sorry that this production is not on DVD as a whole. It's just the fourth part, it's just Götterdämmerung, which does not make sense. If you haven't seen the first few parts, it does not make sense. Please, people, come on, do this. Bayreuth, please make this a box set and make it of the current, because they changed it over the years a bit. So let's just say there was this, not a cliffhanger, but but a surprise ending in Götterdämmerung, and I thought I had seen it all because I've seen the original production, and then I saw it 3 years later. And I sat in there at the end of Götterdämmerung, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna know what's happening. It's alright. And then, like, literally, I don't know, 20 seconds later, I was literally sitting like this, and I wondered why my mouth grew dry. I was so... I think this was such a surprise ending, and we're gonna get into that, like, in 3... I'm so sorry! I'm so sorry for saying that in 4 weeks. I'm really sorry. But please, Bayreuth, have the whole... I know you recorded the whole ring. You have done it in the original production in 2022. You have done it. It was on the internet. It was on like one particular TV broadcaster. They had it on their website. And they had it for just a single amount of time. And they then like copied it and did it on YouTube. Please get this as a whole on the box set, and please, like, now, because now also the persons who are playing this are going through, because in the first year, for example, there were actually 3 Wotans. There should have been 2, there was 3, because unfortunately, too much Konieczny, I love him, he hurt himself during the performance of Valkyrie. So in the middle of the first act, and he like sat down in a chair, and the chair broke, and he like fell out of it, and he got this through. This was very at the beginning of the second act of Valkyrie. He got the second act through, and apparently while he was still on stage doing this, it was clear that he wasn't able to like end the performance, and they had someone else who was just, I don't know, running around, because this is not a musical where you have other people who have learned this role just sitting behind the stage to jump in. But there was actually someone who played Gunther later. He just said, "Oh, you need a Wotan. I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna do this. Why not? I have the time for that." And he learned his role for the third act, which is huge for Wotan. Really, really huge and really beautiful, and I cry every time. And he learned this during the 1 hour intermission. In Bayreuth, they're always 1 hour. And they would be... He went on stage. Of course, they had to like shove him a bit wherever he should go, let's say it like this, but he really was good at it. Anyway, as I said, first year, 3 Wotans. Now it's only 1, it's too much Konieczny. He does all 3 parts of Wotan, which is a lot. He is in Rhinegold, in Valkyrie and Siegfried, and we have a going through Brünnhilde as well, which was also not the case in the first year, and I think there was also two Siegfrieds, not sure about this, but now it's all consecutive. They have all 1 role, so please give us the box set. Come on, record it this year, or take the recording from last year. That was cool. maybe the Siegfried was not so great. He had a bit of difficulties with text and all. But never mind. Anyway, this is kind of like just a teeny tiny bit of the production that's currently going on. I would advise you to go on the website. They have a trailer for the ring there. But there's also the trailer for the whole ring. So you might see a bit more than you wanted. Let's say it like that. But it's really beautiful. It's really, really good. And I'm so sorry for this production because people hate it so much that it's only going to be on stage 2 times this year. It was normally the ring is on stage 3 times, which it was in the first year, and then after it was only 2 times every time. So I'm gonna go to Rhinegold and Valkyrie because, you know me, I'm a Fricka girl. Okay, good. I normally, before that, I didn't like Fricka, and I don't like her like in the Metropolitan Opera production, which is very Hera. Let's be honest. But in this production, I'm a Fricka girl. And this is also a reason why I'm like having my hair grow this long. As her hair is really long and I wanna channel her energy. And also because, you know, like the blonde Wotan reminding hair, and after this I'm gonna like chop it off quite a bit. But I'm leaving it long now to go to Bayreuth. Anyway, so love this production. I think it's massively underrated. It makes so much sense. I think everyone who says this production is bad or they hate this production or whatever, they didn't really think about it. Because it's so good. It's so good. And I'm so sorry for Sebastian Schwarz, but he's so brave. He's going on stage at the end of Götterdämmerung, or after Götterdämmerung, when they bow. Every time, even though he's being booed less last year, but still, love it. He's really good. He's put so many thoughts into this, and you feel like that he really loves it. And I mean, considering what productions there were earlier of the ring, I don't think that anyone has the right to say anything about this ring, basically. Could say a bit about like a certain relationship in the Valkyrie, but we're gonna go about this next week. So I hope you understood most of this stuff that I told now. If you want to go watch this, then maybe just put it in. Maybe it's on YouTube still. Would hope it is. It's really, really great. Unfortunately, this is what they have on YouTube, or what they had on YouTube at one point, is from the first year. So it's not Tomasz Konieczny on stage who sings Wotan, unfortunately, because I love him, as I said. Love the vibe, love the voice. He's cool. Yeah, that was it for now for this production for today. Have a nice day, and I hope I haven't confused you too much. If I have, then you don't need to watch the other parts of this. So it's really okay. It's really okay. And please don't make it that this gets more views than the other one, because then I would be really A, shocked, and B, disappointed, because you need to watch the other one, not this one. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. Bye. Have a nice day.